Want to know the difference between dreaming and doing? Yeah, pretty much everything. Visit Indiana Tech and see what it's like to be a warrior. Tech goes by many names. Business, fine art, forensic science. Some think it's just technical. But really, tech means everything. Scholarships, internships, championships. It's professors who make time for you one-on-one. It's putting everything on the line. It can be fierce. It can be fascinating. It can be awesome. Most important, it's believing in yourself and what you have to offer the world. Because at Indiana Tech, warriors are prepared to lead a significant life.
You're busy. You expect to say no sometimes. But what you didn't expect was a chance to say yes to a college degree while keeping your life. Indiana Tech is now offering Chicago area students undergraduate and graduate degree opportunities taught online by experienced faculty who care. Learn more at one of the new Indiana Tech enrollment centers in Naperville or Wilmette.
I can turn this in early? Sure, whenever you're ready.
Embrace the unexpected at Indiana Tech.
Well, first of all, I'd like to say that there aren't very many energy programs out there. When I researched all of the various programs recently, there are really only 2 or 3 accredited engineering programs.
I'm from Las Vegas, Nevada originally. I came out here to Indiana Tech to actually go for the energy engineering program because of its uniqueness and its ability to get hands-on with the materials that I'm going to be using in the future.
Well, a few of the things I think that sets Indiana Tech apart is, number one, you have very small classes. You have very close relationships with your professors. When you have a class of 10 people, it's much easier to get to know the professor and get in contact with him than if you have a class of 30, 40, or 50. You're going to have the same professors for the majority of your classes. You're going to have the same classmates for the majority of your classes.
The more practical applications come in all the subsequent energy engineering classes. Heat transfers in a class that right after they're leaving the classroom, and the board is filled with calculus. So in order to understand a lot of these topics, they're going to need to understand the calculus there. Calculus is the study of the rate of change, how fast things change. And depending upon whether it's energy engineering, industrial engineering, or whatever, they're going to need to use that and apply that.
Professor Romary, he stands out to me the most right now because when I first got here, I had to take calculus, Calc 1, Calc 2. And he's one of the professors that teaches it. And he just really was a very kind and helpful guy, and he did whatever he could to help us out. He was very funny, always had a way of creatively teaching calculus to us that not a whole lot of people can do. And I think that and how he did it is going to be something that's going to stick for me for a very long time.
The field work that Indiana Tech can provide here is, for example, we have a 10 kilowatt windmill that the students can work with. We have a geothermal system for a couple of the buildings for Utang-Sioux and for Zollner that uses geothermal principles to heat and cool the buildings in the summer and the winter.
The PV array system, training system that we have down here in the basement allows us to wire up the panels we have down in the basement to set it up as a off-the-grid system or a battery bank system, which helps us because we can see every component of the system actually intertwining and how they work together, which is something that may not be easily visible when you're on the job site in a career. So definitely my internship at Super Value Incorporated was a very, very beneficial program for me to be in. It was more based on the process and logistical side of engineering of my degree, not necessarily the design aspect. It helped me really learn how the most efficient way to do a task and some of the boundaries that come with trying to make things more efficient.
One of the things that we've been very fortunate here at Indiana Tech is that we've had a grant through AEP to help subsidize our students in taking some of the various trips in spring break. Over the last 4 years, I have taken, along with a couple of other chaperones, I've taken almost a couple of dozen students to a trip to Germany and Switzerland that focused on renewable energy. We've gone to Iceland last year, focusing on geothermal energy, and we just recently returned from a trip to Costa Rica.
Just last year, I went to Iceland with a couple of our peers, not even just energy engineers, but a couple of other engineering majors went along with us. And for me, that was the highlight of my college time. I mean, we learned a lot about like geothermal systems and how they converted to a country of basically like ran just by geothermal. But it wasn't just learning about that, it was also learning about their culture as well, you know, and the past and the history and where they plan to go in their future. And all those things combined, I think, really kind of defines my experience here in Indiana Tech.
You can be the smartest engineer in the world, but if you cannot talk to or work with other engineers and non-engineers, it's very hard to get anything done. I try to teach my students that while you may not like writing, it's going to be a part of the job. You have to communicate. If you're doing experiments or testing hardware in the lab, you need to write it up so that other people know what you did, and the customer may want to know what are the results of that test.
Something I would remember most about the faculty would be just the one-on-one aspect of it and how open they are to hearing your problems and concerns and willing to assist you. Indiana Tech, with the class sizes being so small, you really get that one-on-one talking, everyday type relationship with your advisors and your professors. And having that is key to success, I feel, because being able to communicate with them and actually get your problems and questions across is going to help clarify things for you while you're in classes in school, which is going to set you up for success.
Yeah, pretty much everything. Visit Indiana Tech and walk a mile in a warrior's shoes. You want to know what's possible at Indiana Tech? Yeah, pretty much everything. Visit Indiana Tech and see what it's like to be a warrior.
On a crisp evening here in Fort Wayne, we welcome you to Indiana Tech Volleyball right here on the Indiana Tech Digital Network. And a big one tonight in conference play as the Rochester Christian Warriors take on your Indiana Tech Warriors. Good evening, everybody. Joe Northern, delighted to have you with us. We know one team of Warriors will win, but why is this win more important tonight for Indiana Tech and Rochester Christian? It's simple. Home court advantage for the opening round of the WHAC tournament. Now, a win tonight by either team would all but certainly lock in that they will be hosting at a home site in the opening round on Wednesday evening. lose, you have to sweat things out just a little bit more to see who is going to be hosting, and have to wait until tomorrow to see how the tiebreaker situations are going to be flushed out. Also, one thing to note tonight, too, is that the number 3 team currently in the WHAC standings, Madonna, is playing number 1 and number 2 this weekend in Aquinas and in Cornerstone, as Madonna will be taking on the Saints coming up at the top of the hour. Meanwhile, let's talk about your Warriors. A 2-game winning streak coming into this one, 19-11 overall, 12-6 in league play. They got the job done over Siena Heights, 3-1 on Friday night, and then 3-0 back on October 25th at Dearborn, but had the loss to Madonna on the 24th, 0-3 in straight sets. In fact, that's been kind of really the loss of sets that has come back to hurt this team, either in 1-3 or 0-3. But there's only been one game this season that has gone the distance, and that was a 3-2 winner against Lawrence Tech. They did take care of Rochester Christian back on October 4th at Rochester Hills, 3-0 in straight sets. But how do the Warriors get the job done? And what will they need to do to get the job done here tonight? Of course, again, you take a look at the key leaders for this Warrior team right now. It's no surprise that, again, the attacking leaders up front continuing to be number 14, Amelia Schultz, number 19, Lauren Snyder, and number 7, Hannah Tite, continuing to lead the charge for Coach Matt Fishman and company. Snyder coming in 325 kills, Schultz at 225, and Tyke at 195. And the assist front, again, 2 main setters you're going to keep an eye out for. Number 10, Kristen Matlick, 753, and Isabella Asali with 292. Meanwhile, on the defensive side of things, blocks and digs, really the big thing forward for this team. Hannah Tyke continuing to lead the charge on that with 99 blocks on the season. Not too far behind her, however, is Jacqueline Alway with 91 up the middle. So again, a team that's really continuing to revolve around some of the heavy hitters up front for Indiana Tech will certainly need to take flight here tonight. Meanwhile, for the Rochester Christian Warriors, they also come in at 19-10 on the season, and coming in, however, on a 2-game losing skid as it stands right now. So a 2-game losing skid to who else? Cornerstone and Aquinas, both in 3 sets apiece. Taking a look at some of the leaders that you'll keep an eye out tonight for if you are the Rochester Christian Warriors. Again, leading attacker up front in Haley Maconia with 205 kills on the season. Olivia Everett, 222. Kendall Zeider with 222. And Shantae Hudgens with 222. So a lot of different attackers that Rochester Christian coach Juliana Nash really is trying to look forward to for her team to really try to, number 1, clinch another home opportunity to play at home coming up next Wednesday, but also do something that they have not done before against Indiana Tech, and that's win against the Warriors, as the Warriors of Indiana Tech are currently 15-0 since the first time they played back on October 20th, 2017. Does the tide change here? By the way, keep in mind, the largest margin of victory, of course, 3-0. The closest, 3-1. So, does that change tonight, or does Tech roll on and clinch another home opportunity coming up here at the Schaefer Center on Wednesday night? We'll find out as we'll have your opening serve and starting rotations coming up in just a moment. This is Indiana Tech Women's Volleyball on the Indiana Tech Digital Network.
Welcome to the Summit City, home to the 260's dedicated high school athletes and fans. Each victory and celebration captured by our cameras. Treasure the highlights from the Summit Athletic Conference this season, or complete games live or on demand. After all, nobody's more proud to call Fort Wayne home than SummitCitySports.com.
I decided if I was going to come to Indiana Tech, I was going to be a different kind of instructor. I was really going to focus on connecting with students, teaching the students the theory that they needed, and also the practical applications.
Very practically, what that looks like is smaller class sizes. So my class sizes are the 8 to 10 up to maybe 20. And that's backed up with, we have 18 hours of office hours every week. I'm sitting in my office waiting for students to come in, to talk about anything. It doesn't just have to be with the classroom.
In the College of Engineering, we have ABET accreditation for mechanical engineering, electrical engineering, and biomedical engineering. ABET is the top accrediting board for engineering in the United States and probably in the world.
Another thing that is a very different approach at Indiana Tech, I think, that some other universities, is we try and make sure they have a lot of lab experience in the engineering department. All engineering programs are going to have laboratory courses, but in our laboratory courses we try to get them not just exposure to measurements and exposure to some of the devices that you'll be used, but I like to actually assign projects that are, realistic projects.
Those projects, this project-based learning, help students to work together in a group and be hands-on with their the material or the product that they're creating. Engineering students at Indiana Tech to me, stand out because I know that they've had a lot of experiences working in groups, working on projects, doing lab experiments to help them understand the material, and I think that prepares them well for industry.
First thing I'll tell a high school student is study, study, study. Get all the math you can possibly get. I honestly believe that the critical thinking skills you learn in math courses will help you with engineering courses.
The type of knowledge base that students should have coming in, they need to be problem solvers and critical thinkers. Those two things are really the essence of engineering. Regardless of flavor, they're going to need to figure out, there's a problem here, how do I solve it? And they need to think critically about that. They need to observe, listen to people, and then kick in those problem-solving skills to solve the problem.
Part of the growth of Indiana Tech has involved an increasing number of international students. So I think if we can expose students to different ideas, different cultures, again, it makes them that much more competitive in the marketplace.
In the Fort Wayne area, we have lots of large companies, BAE Systems, Fort Wayne Metals, General Motors, Raytheon, Harris Corporation, and the list goes on. We have a lot of employers that want our engineering students.
Indiana Tech, I think, continues to serve students even beyond their graduation. We really strive to keep in touch with our alumni on a personal level just to see how they're doing, but then also they want to give back to the university because of the experiences they've had here, so they want to provide opportunities for other students here as well.
Lineups now being introduced for both sides of the court. So let's go ahead and introduce them now with you. For Rochester Christian, lineup looks a little bit like this. Number 3, Madeline Geisenhaver, wearing number 3. Number 5, Carly Rohrhaff. Number 15 on the board is Mackenzie Kiefer. Number 19, Alicia Everett. Number 25, Jante Huggins. And number 26, Kendall Zeider. And the libero, don't see officially who the libero is going to be listed for Rochester Christian, but we can tell you very likely it's going to be number 7, Ashley Horn, as she's the only player in the white jerseys on the court here tonight. Meanwhile, for Indiana Tech, as Caleb Hatch introducing the lineups, number 12 in Jacqueline Alway, number 15, Isabella Asali, number 17, J.C. Strasma, number 19 in Lauren Snyder, number 18, Lauren Pasca, and number 7 in Hannah Tyke. And the libero tonight is going to be number 5, Emmeline Wood. Warriors coached by Matt Fishman in his 4th season. Rochester Christian coached by Juliana Nash in her 3rd season. And again, tail of the tape when it comes to leaders on the board. Both teams very well even matched as it stands right now. Again, the one edge that Rochester Christian has, at least in terms of leaders over Indiana Tech, it's Diggs and Ashley Horn with 387 on the season. Elsie McCutcheon with 338. But other than that, Indiana Tech dominating when it comes to kills, 325 to 222. Assists, only a 30-point advantage for Kristen Matlick, 753 to Mackenzie Kiefer's 723. And blocks, pretty even. Hannah Tyke with 99 leading your Warriors. Olivia Everett, I beg your pardon, leading with 96 for Rochester Christian. So the Warriors going to be here for 2 nights to wrap up the regular season as they welcome Lawrence Tech tomorrow afternoon. Special start time for that one, as we'll go on the air a little before 1:45 p.m. to bring you the Senior Day ceremonies right here at the Schaefer Center, and then close out the regular season against Lawrence Tech. But the Warriors again tonight, whichever Warriors you root for, whether it be Rochester Christian or Indiana Tech, the win and you are in. And win, and I should say, you will be hosting in the playoffs. So something to keep in mind here tonight. The crowd again continuing to file in. Both teams, Indiana Tech at 19 and 11, Rochester Christian coming in at 19 and 10. As Kiefer now ready to bring it across. Warriors wanted a sweep a month ago over the Warriors. Can they look to try to repeat the effort? This one, great block up front, now goes over to Wood. Wood now sets over for Tyke. Lobs this one up front, connecting back over to Kiefer. High block tap and saved. Great dives and save coming in from the hands of Gray. Roroff, I beg your pardon. Now tip again over for Tyke. Tyke again, back row. Rochester Christian trying to go for the reset. Another block tip. This one is saved in time. Another push again from Roroff. Now another quick shift. This one goes back row. Nice diving save again from Roroff. And another big swing across with the libero in Horn. Now another push across. Blake, Tyke, blocked. And the reset for Wood. Free ball opportunity upcoming for ROC. And down it in time. As Madeline Geisenhaver answers first to make it 1-0. So just like that, Rochester Christian strikes first on a little bit of a marathon rally to start set number 1. Will it continue here in the second? Tyke able to get this one lobbed across. Here's a big push. This one up and in time. Madeline Geisenhaver. She has 2 points on the board. Rochester Christian each with 2. Zoom out a little bit if you could. Another push across. This one up into the net and tipped off Rochester Christian. So Tech will get the point. Here's the push again up front. This one up into the net and right back in time. So Rochester Christian quickly answering the call. Tech quickly answering the call off the errors. And now we'll see Hannah Tyke again trying to continue to lead the way. She gets this one nice into the back row to Roroff. Roroff now high swing across, gets it over to Zeider. Zeider sails it out of play. So Rachel Zeider sails that one out. And the lead now 3-2. Tech now on a 3-0 run to start here in set number 1 after dropping the first 2 points. Here's another push across. This one up the middle. Finds Roroff. Roroff, high swing tip and got it. She was able to get the deflection off Jacqueline Alway to make it now 3-3. An advantage of, well, no one at this point. Again, great crowds coming in here tonight, as it's already the month of November and both teams fighting to play at least for a postseason berth at home, potentially. If things really shake up in the standings, could be potentially these 2 teams facing off against each other next Wednesday night. Side out going to go against IT. And so Rochester Christian bringing it over. Here's Maynard. Maynard now lobs this one over across. Finds Snyder. Snyder now back in control. Goes to Horn on the push. This one block tipped up front from Alway. Alway couldn't get the angle she was looking for. Now another chance. This one coming from the hands of Strasma. Strasma looks to lob this one over. And another reset again upcoming. They go to Snyder. Scores! Lauren Snyder able to answer on the quick kill. And just like that, the lead does not exist anymore for Rochester Christian. We're even at 4. Take a look at that again one more time. Here's the push again, but into the net it goes. So Matlack couldn't get the point, so it goes right into the net. So now these two teams just continuing to trade points over and over again. And the last time these two teams met, it was back on October 4th, where Indiana Tech won it in 3. Here's a big swing in time for number 12 in Jacqueline Alway. As Alway able to get the big swing up front in time. Take a look at that again one more time. Connecting off the back row and off the hands of number 15 in Mackenzie Kiefer. So great push again for IT. As we are even at 5. Another swing over to Geisenhaver. Geisenhaver blocked again. So back-to-back blocks for IT and a 1-point lead here in set number 1. So they want to try to bust the door open here. Coming to announce number 13, Gabby Rossi. Rossi gets this over to Horn. Now another high swing. Block tipped again from Pasca. They go back over to Mancorma. Mancorma able to get it down and in. Haley Mankangma, I beg your pardon. Able to get the quick point in time off the front line attack to make it 6-6. Madeline Geisenhaver again. Into the net. So service error against ROC. And back on the board for IT. Both teams with a service error as it stands right now. And another swing again for Haley Mankagma. And getting the assist from Mackenzie Kiefer additionally. Make it even at 7. So really it's just both teams trying to find at least any form of momentum that they can here in the first, but they haven't been able to do just that. The Warriors trail by 1. Here's a swing tip. This one brought out the other side. Gets back over to Wood. Wood able to clear it in time. Now another chance. High swing, tip down and in. Shantae Hutchins, the Warren, Michigan middle blocker. Answers right back, and the lead extended 8-7 here in set number 1. Push again across, block, tipped and out of play. Mackenzie Kiefer was looking for the lower front row push, but could not get it to go. And it's 8-all across here in the first. And again, both teams just really trying to fight to find a little bit of momentum and get on a prolonged scoring run. Keep in mind, either team hasn't scored more than 2 or 3 points in a row. In fact, it was 3 for IT in a row. So another point back on the board from Kendall Zeter. And the lead now back to 1. 9-8 our advantage. Into the net again for the third time tonight. So it goes off Ashley Horn to make it 9-9 here in set number 1. Near ace opportunity coming from the hands at number 9 in Yuli Carnelli. Carnelli now again with the push. Or I beg your pardon, Alway with the push. This one goes up into the net and back on the board for IT. Make it 10-9 advantage Warriors. And the run certainly trying to continue on the board for the Warriors. But this one goes into the net. So a net violation going to go against number 16 for IT and Cassidy Boner. We're even at 10. Mackenzie Kiefer gets this one across. Chance again for Snyder. Got it. Lauren Snyder gets the tip in time. As Hannah Tite coming to serve. Take a look at that again one more time. She's able to get the push up forward and down and in. And Hannah Tyke answering with an ace for IT. And the first ace of the board tonight comes in from who has quite been simply one of the aces for this team in the junior middle blocker from Elkhart. Tyke gets this one down up the middle. Chance again, tipped over from Zeter. Zeter still keeping it alive. Now another push over for Snyder. This one pinballs off and out of play. Lauren Snyder back-to-back points, and the Warriors now with the longest run tonight of rattling 4 in a row to make it 13-10. Here's another swing across. This one broken up over to Asali. Asali, high tip down low, still saved in time. Snyder tries to shut it down, and she does again. Lauren Snyder easily with 3 of the last 5 on the board. As Rochester Christian stops to think it over. Take a look at that again one more time. And the push just down and in. Snyder carrying the team on her shoulders. So a 4-point lead, advantage of IT, midway through set number 1. Back in a moment.
Want to know the difference between dreaming and doing? Yeah, pretty much everything. Visit Indiana Tech and see what it's like to be a Warrior. Want to know what it means to be a Warrior? Yeah, pretty much everything. Visit Indiana Tech and walk a mile in a Warrior's shoes.
Warriors in the midst of a 5-0 run here in set number 1. Here in an all-important game to not only get the 20 wins, but assure that they're going to be hosting an opening round match on Wednesday night. That swing in time from Olivia Everett, the Lake Odessa native. So that'll stop the 5-0 run, but the Warriors now getting a few insurance points to try to pull ahead. Here's a swing again, and inside for number 17, J.C. Strasma. As J.C. Strasma able to connect at the back of the corner. Take a look at that again one more time. We'll actually wait and bring that to you in just a little bit. 15-11 advantage IT. Their largest lead of the match tonight. Push again over for Kiefer. This one going to be a light tip. Finding him a line wood. Now another tip up front from Alway. Another push again, opposite side. Gets it back over to Menkagma. Menkagma able to get the benefit of the tip. The lead back down to 3. So the Warriors of Rochester still very much in this one. And still very early in this match, you could think that maybe some wacky things could happen. Push across from Ford. Now another high tip from Alway, able to get the deflection in time. As Jacqueline Alway, the senior middle blocker from Kankakee, Illinois, able to get the quick push and in time to make it 16-12. And so we'll have number 13 coming in, and Gabby Rousey, the Monroeville native. Here's Rousey. Sails it out. So no dice on the board. It'll go back to IT, or ROC. So the Warriors of Rochester Christian looking to try to fight back here. Geisenhaver gets this one across. Now another chance. Goes over to Alway. Got it in. Jacqueline Alloway with a commanding attack up front. And Emmeline Wood now coming in to serve and bring it over. Wood. Ace! Emmeline Wood with an ace. And one of those plays that you just sit back and just kind of let it fall more so than not. And the lead extended to 5 here in set number 1. Wood. Again over to Geisenhaver. Nice dig again coming from the fans of Rossi. Here's Snyder. Gets it over back row. Chance again over for Kiefer. Loose ball and got it. As Haley Mankogma able to answer the call and stop the run for IT for the moment. But a 4-point game. It's Haley Mankogma again ready to bring it across. Mankogma again one of the leading attackers for coach Juliana Nash and company. This one up the middle. It goes over to Schultz. Schultz able to get the tip and deflection off 2 different Warriors in number 25, Shantae Hutchins, and number 26, Kendall Zader. Make it 19-14. As Isabella Azali now ready to bring it across. Warriors by 5. Nice dig again from Wood. Free ball pass upcoming now from Snyder. Now a chance to try to skip from Hutchins. Able to get the deflection and try to throw off the Warriors' front line. That just went over the head of Hannah Tyke. And nearly kind of grazed the top of the head of number 17 in J.C. Strasma. 4-point game. This one rolls off the net, still live. Snyder again able to get this one up and over. Chance again. High tip. Is it out? It is in. It is in. They were looking to see if there's a tip. You got to think a challenge is going to be coming here. And they are indeed going to give it a challenge. So let's take a look at it one more time from our vantage point. As that just grazes barely. Let's slow it down for you too. It's a judgment call. It's close. But again, that'll be up to our officials to decide how that looks. One more look again here at the challenge play. As it just, from our vantage point, maybe grazes the line for the moment. Very possible it could have floated out of play depending on the angle. Again, the line judge saw that the point is in, and right now the point would go to Rochester Christian to make it a 3-point game. But again, that is left to be decided on the challenge. And again, the challenges have certainly been the story of the season thus far, as we're looking to see officially how that point is going to be ruled or not. With our up and down officials waiting for the ruling. And it's going to stay with Rochester Christian. So the call stands for ROC, and it was awfully close, but nonetheless, the Warriors of red, black, and white catch a break on that one. Make it now a 3-point affair here in the first. Here's Horn. Gets this one up the middle. Chance again. Swung on and off the hands of Pasca. And now Rochester Christian in the midst of their longest run here tonight. They've rattled off 3 in a row. As Indiana Tech will stop to think it over. We'll step aside and take it with them. 19-17, Warriors trying to close it out. Another former Warriors trying to keep it alive.
Tech goes by many names. Business, fine art, forensic science. Some think it's just technical. But really, tech means everything. Scholarships, internships, championships. It's professors who make time for you one-on-one. It's putting everything on the line. It can be fierce. It can be fascinating. It can be awesome. Most important, it's believing in yourself and what you have to offer the world. Because at Indiana Tech, Warriors are prepared to lead a significant life.
Rochester Christian has trimmed the lead, which is as much as 6, now down to 2. 19-17 our score. Indiana Tech trying to battle back and get a few more insurance points to try to close out set number 1. And we're looking for a net reach in this one. No call. And the Rochester Christian Warriors have now rattled off 4 in a row. Indiana Tech trying to battle back on their end. Down 1, up 1. Push again, Snyder. Block tipped and got it. And Rochester Christian has now come all the way back. Mackenzie Kiefer getting the point on this one, and we're even at 19 here in the first. And so Rochester Christian looking for their first lead of the match since the early stages. And really when teams were kind of trading points until Tech rattled off 5 in a row to make it 14-10 at one point. Here's another push again. This time goes to Strasma. Strasma sails it wide and out of play. And Rochester Christian has now rattled off 7, count it 7 in a row. Make it 6, I beg your pardon. This one up and off the net. Gonna have to free ball it over, and they do in time. It's Ivy Ayers on the tip. Wood can't get it to go. And Rochester Christian now answering right back. And Indiana Tech will take a timeout, 21-19. So again, with the Warriors, again, what's at stake here tonight? The winner all but assured a spot in hosting an opening round game of the WHAC tournament. A loss, it's going to make things a little more difficult to see who can get that hosting bid. Because right now, it's a 3-way juggernaut at the top between Madonna, Rochester Christian, and Indiana Tech. All the teams right now in that one are currently 12-6 in league play. Indiana Tech, at the moment, has the tiebreaker over Rochester Christian. But with a win tonight, that would put them in a different position. And a game down. Meanwhile, Madonna is currently in play right now against Aquinas. We'll keep you updated on that one as that progresses. Because if Madonna wins tonight, then they very likely will be hosting an opening round affair. But they have them and Cornerstone in the next 2 matches. So once we get a chance in the intermission, we'll get you updated on some of those other scores. Here's a push in time coming in from number 18 as Lauren Pasca answers right back to make it a 1-point game. 21-20. Cassidy Boner now ready to bring it across. Boner gets it back row. Chance again, high block tip from Pasca. They're going to have to try to keep it alive. Now Pasca running everywhere. It's Snyder. Tries to pinball it front row, brought over in time by Geisenhaver. Now the Warriors try to make it happen here. Tyke with the kill! Hannah Tyke strikes up top. And the Warriors have now evened it at 21. So great move again from the Elkhart native blocker. And an ace! Is a Cassidy Boner with a quick point. And the Warriors have now rattled off 3 in a row late here in set number 1. Boner able to get this one up and over. Sets it down! Back-to-back aces! Cassidy Boner with back-to-back aces. And Rochester Christian is going to take their last time out of the set. Take a look at that again one more time. As Boner was able to find the positioning that she was looking for and get this down, up, and in time. So just like that, the Warriors just 2 points away. They're now on a 4-0 run late here in set number 1. They try to steal this set and go up 1-0 here in this all-important matchup for these two teams for playoff seeding purposes. And, of course, the automatic bid in the national tournament does go to the tournament winner in the WHAC. So there are only 11 teams in the league as it stands. So, again, it's going to be a one-bid league likely. Aquinas has been at the top of the table, and rightfully so. 18-0 in league play, already clinched the regular season. Cornerstone at 14-4, but right now it's a juggernaut of 3 teams at 12-6 between Madonna, Rochester Christian, and Indiana Tech. But whoever can get to 13-6 tonight is going to put them in pole position. We'll just have to wait to see what happens as the week progresses. Here's another push forward. This one broken up. Tipped down from Pasca. Saved again from Kiefer. Now this one, they get up back row. Wood has to try to get it for the free ball, and she does. Chance again, high tip, down over to Wood, and got it. A great push coming in from Olivia Everett. And the lead now down to 1, 22-23 here in set number 1. Rochester Christian certainly coming for a fight here tonight. This one goes up the middle. Chance again, goes over to Snyder. Nice dig in the meantime from Zeter. Zeter able to push this one up and across. They go to Pasca. Pasca dug up again by Kiefer. High block, tipped and got it. Lauren Snyder couldn't get it to go, and we're even at 23. Here in the first, and again, the tension starting to build here at the Schaefer Center. Here's Kiefer. Goes back row to connect to Snyder. They go to Tyke. Block, tipped, and got it. As Kendall Zeter gets it across, and it's a set point opportunity for Rochester Christian. So going to extra points may be something that has to happen. Snyder attacked, dug up, and got it. We play on. As Ashley Horn got a little kerfuffled on that one. As Hannah Tyke now ready to bring it across. So we're even at 24 apiece here in the first. Tyke sails this one. Still kept live. Free ball chance upcoming. Here's Everett. Everett again on the run. Chance again goes to Snyder. This one brought down. Dunk tip from Pasca. Could not get it. And we go to set point number 2 now. As it just bounced right back like a boomerang to Lauren Pasca. Here's Maynard. This one up the middle, tipped across, reach over into the net. And so the Warriors catch a break. And we'll do it all over again. 25-25. Kristen Matlick now ready to bring it across. So we're even at 25. Going to take at least to 27 to finish off here in the first. Matlick goes back row to connect over to Horn. Now another high push. Cognoma dug up in time for Snyder. Wood's going to have to go for the free ball chance. They go again, front row. Tipped over. Nice save again coming from the hands of Boner. They go to Schultz. Schultz gets it back over to Horn. Going to be a battle up front to Cognoma. Nice dig up front. Battle at the net. Who's got it? It's Rochester Christian. Now another chance. This one bounces down. And a miscue on the front row. And Tech now with their first set point. And the crowd's starting to get into it a little bit more here at the Schaefer Center. Boner across. Able to get this one sailed off the tip, and we'll do it again. It seems as if no one wants to try to find the advantage here at set number 1. As Cassidy Boner was looking to try to get the angle for it, and a judgment call if you go for it or not there. Here's Ava Ford now to bring it across, wearing number 8 for Rochester. Schultz brings it down. As Amelia Schultz able to bring it down and in time. So we'll go to another set point. 27-26. And it just continues. As Gabby Rousey now ready to bring it across. Rousey with the set point opportunity. This one goes up the middle. Chance again, swung, tip, and Wood gets it over in time. A great push. Now another chance, block tipped. Cognoma gets it alive. Now over to Everett. Do they set up for Schultz? They do, but dug up again by Rochester. And down and in time again once more. Haley Mankogma able to get the point. And we'll do it again. Natalie Geisenhafer now to bring it across. This one's a low roller up to Wood. They go back to Snyder, grazing across the top. This one still kept live. Cognoma scores. Haley Cognoma gets the point. And now it's another set point for them here in the first. 28-27. Geisenhaver up the middle. Chance again, brought down from Schultz. Everett into the net. And it still just keeps going over and over again. As the extra points continuing to mount. Here's Emmeline Wood. Back row, pivoted off the hands of Horn. Now another high tip. This one down up the middle. They go, swings to Pasca. Everett, blocked by Pasca! Blocked by Tyke, I beg your pardon. Tyke with a commanding block up front. And yet again, another set point. Here's Wood. Gets it up the middle. Chance again to Cognoma. Cognoma tipped over to Wood. And we'll do it again. My goodness. It's 29-29. We still don't have a winner here in set number 1. And the run just continuing. Mankogma gets this one brought across. They go to Schultz. Up into... And a reach over actually going to go against Rochester Christian. So Amelia Schultz gets the point. And a big break for IT. And a set point upcoming. Isabella Astley ready to bring it over. Do we find a winner here? Astley gets this up the middle. Chance again from Zider. Double block, out of play! In a marathon set of set number 1, it's Indiana Tech that finds a way to shut it down. Partially thanks to one Hannah Tyke with a commanding block up front as we take a look at that again one more time. Able to set the block up and in motion. So we go to the second. Indiana Tech wins it at extra points, 31-29. We'll be back with the second coming up in just a moment. This is Indiana Tech Women's Volleyball on the Indiana Tech Digital Network.
Want to know the difference between dreaming and doing? Yeah, pretty much everything. Visit Indiana Tech and see what it's like to be a warrior. Want to know what it means to be a warrior? Yeah, pretty much everything. Visit Indiana Tech and walk a mile in a warrior's shoes.
Welcome to the Summit City, home to the 260's dedicated high school athletes and fans. Each victory and celebration captured by our cameras. Treasure the highlights from the Summit Athletic Conference this season, or complete games live or on demand. After all, nobody's more proud to call Fort Wayne home than SummitCitySports.com.
From the first day, I felt very welcome at Indiana Tech.
I just really enjoy the classes and the vibe I get from all the other athletes and just the students here. Everybody's cool and everybody gets along really well.
I'm currently a senior, and since my freshman year, student life activities have really grown throughout campus, and there are so many ways that you can meet new people. You can go bowling, you can watch movies, and it's just really important to get involved on campus.
We have intramurals, anything from billiards to basketball. It's made student life very enjoyable.
I love Fort Wayne because there's always something going on, like festivals. I walk a bunch of the trails here locally. There's great restaurants. There's always something fun to do. You can never be bored here in Fort Wayne.
The school spirit at Indiana Tech is epic. It's everything. We had our first annual hockey game not too long ago. Everybody showed up, face paint, cowbells, Trojan hats, lawn gnomes. It was amazing. It makes it so worthwhile to be a Warrior. Go Warriors.
You want to know what's possible at Indiana Tech? Visit Indiana Tech and see what it's like to be a warrior.
Well, Indiana Tech winning a marathon of set number one, 31-29, as it just felt like it just continued to go back and forth we go. But a great set on the board for IT and an all-important one in this contest. Reminder, Indiana Tech action continues live right now on the ice as Lawrence Tech is taking on the Warriors and men's hockey. Eric Hosmer and Mason Vogel will be joining you right now on that broadcast right here on the Indiana Tech Digital Network as this one goes in right into the net, and Tech picking up right where they left off as they win the first one 31-29. As they won the first one 31-29. Joe Northern, Oscar Harrison, delighted to have you with us as this one sails out of play, and Rochester Christian gets it back on the board. First set stats, at least to kind of keep a note of. Interestingly enough, Tech did not have the most kills in the first set coming into this one. Only 15 on the board. Or actually, only 16 on the board. Rochester Christian picked up 20. This one swung up from Alway. Alway trying to continue to keep this one afloat. And this one swings wide out of play. An attack errors away. They're looking to say there's a tip. Hang on. They're looking to see if there's a tip and possibly yet another challenge coming in from Coach Matt Fishman. So we'll take the point off the board. Not sure how they're officially going to rule it. So they're looking to try to potentially challenge that again. Now they bring in the line judges to try to get a better angle of it to see, did they see a tip on it or did they not? Rochester Christian also leading in total attacks 55-49. 7 attack errors compared to Indiana Tech 6. They've also passed the ball around a little bit more, 19-16. But the stat that has really kind of been the deciding factor, at least in set number 1, is the service aces. Tech with 4, Rochester Christian still looking for their first. But Tech also leading in service errors too. 4 into the net. Rochester Christian only with 2 into the net as it stands so far tonight. Tech leading in blocks right now. Well, trailing in blocks 4-3 when you combine block assists and solo blocks. Tech, however, with the advantage of the solo blocks. Point goes back to Tech, so they do rule it a side out. So no touch. And it goes right back on the board for IT. So Indiana Tech gets the point back. And the Warriors now up 2-1. Both team also Warriors, but this one again up the middle. Chance again, cross over to Geisenhaver. Now another push again from Schultz. Does she get it? She does not. This one just goes outside and out of play. So 2-2 here in the second. Meanwhile, take a look at game leaders for Indiana Tech as it stands right now. It's been Lauren Snyder leading the way. 5 kills, Jacqueline Alway and Amelia Schultz each with 3. Lauren Pasca on the board with 2. Here's another swing across. This one tipped over and got it. As Haley Mankogma able to answer that one in time, and taking a look at the stat lines for Rochester Christian. She has led the team in attacks tonight with 8 kills on the evening on 12 total attacks. Zeider with 14, but only 2 kills on the board for her. 1 error. Here's a swing now up the middle. Chance again up coming for Snyder. Snyder tries to go back row, connects over to Maynard. Maynard again. This one swung high and out of play. As Tech gets the point. With that one swinging just a little bit high and out of play. They were looking to see if Tech maybe had a hand on it, but they did not. So Paige Redder back to serve for the first time tonight. Again, in case you're just joining us, you missed a whale of a first set, 31-29, as it went back and back to extra points over and over again. Again, one thing to note, though, Indiana Tech has never lost to Rochester Christian, as Jacqueline Alway gets this one point up on the board and in time. As they've been 15-0 against the Warriors since they first met back on October 20th, 2017. Push over again. This one brought down. We're going to go for a reset again. Finding Snyder. Sails this one over the top and out of play. As Pasca and Schultz able to connect on that one. And the lead now extended 5-3 here in set number 2. Here's Redder. Redder trying to trail it over. This one brought up again from Wood. A little bit of a close battle. Pasca sails it all the way back row. Little collision at the net. They go for the dunk tip. Can't get it. Wood again looking to set it up once more. Here's Schultz. Again brought back now to Kiefer. Kiefer trying to get it. Tipped down and got it. Alway and Schultz both getting it on the board as they're going to rule it an attack error against Haley Mankogna on the board to make the lead now 6-3. And a quick strike across from number 3 in Madeline Geisenhaver. Making it now 6-4. The Warriors getting a nice little 3-point spurt here in set number 2. They're going to need all the insurance points they can get in this one. But clearly you could feel the intensity from the end of the previous set certainly hasn't gone away. And now we're seeing Coach Matt Fishman talking with the lower official, just trying to get a confirmation. So no point, they say play on. Geisenhaber gets this one down up the middle, finding Pasca, back row they go. Here's Horn. Horn again on the push. This one's going to be tipped and not going to make it. As Gabby Rousey got a hand on it. So great push coming again from Rochester Christian for going back row. And a 1-point game. Snyder able to get this one reconnected. Here's Alloway. Alloway gets it now out to Horn. Horn now on the push. Cogmona. Mancogna. Now back to Schultz. She got it. As Amelia Schultz spins around for a second, but able to settle in and get the point. As Emmeline Wood now back to serve, and the lead extended back to 2. 7-5 here in set number 2. Wood sails this one up the middle. They're going to try to go again once more for Maynard. Maynard can't keep a hand on it. Now a high tip and got it. And Lauren Pasca able to get the push up in time. And so they've done a great job of getting the front line attacks going. Now you have Hannah Tyke back up front with Amelia Schultz. And the assist leader, Kristen Matlick, ready to defend as well. And she does just that on the dig. Here's Schultz. This one broken up by Maynard. Now another chance. Bobbles up into the net and back on the board. As it just gets on top of Kristen Matlick, just laughing it off for a quick second. So the Warriors of Rochester Christian getting the quick point to make it 8-6 here in set number 2. Here's another sail across from Mancogma. Mancogma sailed again for Snyder. Or Schultz, I beg your pardon. Schultz able to get a nice sail again from the lower front. We take a look at that again one more time. And she was able to connect in that upper corner, something we haven't seen too much of tonight. So the lead 9-6 advantage of IT. Make it 10. As Isabella Asselay gets the quick point on the board to make it 10-6. And the quick runs coming on the board for IT. Will it continue to keep going? Swing up into the net and got it. As it just got over in time over Hannah Tyke. So we'll do it again. Another push across coming in from Ashley Horn. Gets it back over to Snyder, tip down, opposite side. And a nice reach over coming from the hands of Mackenzie Kiefer. She was able to kind of leap up and get that point ready to go. The lead down to 2. Again, this is a spot that we've seen Indiana Tech falter at earlier tonight. As they gave up a 5-point lead and allowed Rochester Christian to go on a 7-0 run. And a reach over going to go against Rochester Christian. So a break for IT, making now 11-8. As they rule up the attack error against Everett. This one up into the net. Dunk again for Lauren Snyder. And Snyder able to get this one up and over in time to make it a 4-point game. Here's another swing across. This one tipped over. Still kept live and in time. Back over to Wood off the free ball. Back row push, and they got it. As Rochester Christian and Olivia Everett quickly answer back to make it a 3-point affair. And it's 12-9 advantage of IT. But Rochester Christian doing a great job of just continuing to stay in this one. Push again from Snyder. Got it. It's Lauren Snyder, not Amelia Schultz, as our PA announcer is mentioning. But Lauren Snyder wearing number 19. Push again, tipped and got it. Here's Kendall Zeider to get the quick point. And the lead condensed down to 3 rather, 13-10. Swing across again for Snyder. This one goes again, front row. High push, tipped up. Still kept live by IT. They go to Snyder. Snyder pushed way across. As Alloway able to get the tip. Nice chance again up front from Strasma. Into the net that goes. They're going to have to try to reset it again. They go to Alloway. Alloway back row connecting over to Kiefer. Now a push from Mankogma. Mankogma able to try to get the attack live. Here's Lauren Snyder off the blocked. And she is blocked by a duo effort of Natalie Geisenhaver and Olivia Everett. So a joint team block to make it 13-11. The Warriors still have some work left to do. Both Warriors still have work left to do. So the quick point back on the board for Rochester Christian. The lead now to make it 13-12 here in the second. Sailed up again, goes over to Snyder, swings down and in. As Lauren Snyder able to get the one quickly back on the board. And the lead extended back to 2. And right now, Snyder has been the story for IT. Leading with 8 out of 19 tonight. 8 kills, 19 total attacks, 1 error. Push again coming from Geisenhaver. Now again they go to Snyder. Snyder up the middle, finding Horn. Horn again on the return. This one tipped and inside. As Madeline Geisenhaver's done a great job of just continuing to counter the IT attacks here tonight. And for her efforts, she's now second in kills in the match tonight with 6. 6 out of 14, but with 2 errors on the board. 14-13 midway through the second. As Ava Ford runs it into the net, making 2 points. As right now, the Warriors bring in Paige Redder. Got an ace early on here in the second. IT with 5 aces so far here today. There's the push in time from number 25, Enchante Hudgens. So Hudgens gets the quick swing attack and in time to make it a 1-point game. Another push again. This one in time from Alway. Able to answer the call and go mid-row to get the quick point. So 16-14. Emmeline Wood ready to bring it over. She closed it out in the first. Can she try to find at least a little bit of momentum for IT here in the second? Wood raising up into the stands. She's still live. She's still in it. Now another chance upcoming. This one goes to Hudgens. Schultz. Back row. Collision. Does something come out of nothing? No. Hudgens gets it over to Wood, who's flying everywhere. Schultz flying inside and in! As Amelia Schultz gets it in time, the AC Flying Jet gets it on the board, but will it stand? Let's take a look at that again one more time. From our angle, it appears it may have floated out. Let's go back again and slow it down for you once more. So you can see our line judge discussing, or our line judge or down official discussing. But let's take a look at ours one more time. Slow it down a little bit. If anything, maybe an inside bounce on kind of the upper right. Let's go back and take a look at it again one more time. It's close. This is right now, it stands as a point for Indiana Tech. We've taken it off the board on our instance, and it will stay with Indiana Tech. So she was able to find the inside of the box, and no conclusive evidence was found. Make it 17-14 as IT up by 3 and trying to find a way to close this one out, not make it as dramatic as the last set that we saw. But certainly anything is possible. Here's Wood. Gets this one up the middle. Connects over to Geisenhaver. Geisenhaver, block tip. This one down and in time. As Cognoma able to answer on the quick point. So Rochester Christian answering after the challenge point. And the lead down to 2 here in set number 2. Cognoma able to lob this one up and over. Gets it down over to Schultz. A nice swing block coming in from Kendall Zeiter, the Troy, Michigan native, and it makes it a 1-point game, 17-16. It's officially rolled in the attack error against Schultz. Cognoma again. Gets this one across. Finds Pasca. Nice tip save from Wood. Pasca again. This one's going to go way back row, but a great push again from Cognoma. And a free ball chance saved over by Geisenhaver. They go for the swing. Tyke, tip, blocked. Blocked again by Shante Hudgens. And we're even at 17 here in the second. As you have the feeling this could be one of those matches that may be here for a while for, as they just really continue to go nip and tuck with each other. The last time these two teams faced off, very much the same. Tech won at 25-23, 25-21, 25-17. So if you wear your opponent out in the first 2 sets and try to find a way to strike in the third, it's going to be the recipe for attack that Tech would love to go with. Hannah Tyke able to get the tip over in time. So the great push again from Hannah Tyke, and the lead now extended to 1. Re-extended to 1. Lead the match 1-0. So we'll do it again. Push again coming forward from IT. This one's going to go way back row. Little slip over, but a nice save coming in from Rohrhoff. Here's Pasca with the attack. Lauren Pasca, the sophomore outside hitter from Noblesville, with a sweet flush. And a 2-point advantage, 19-17 here in the second. Rush continuing once more for IT. Here's Hudgens, tipped up from Wood. They get it across over to Pasca. That's tipped, and she does it again. As Lauren Pasca is just continuing to keep it alive and in motion. And Rochester Christian is going to take their first timeout. Interestingly enough, no one has taken their timeouts here in this second set, but it's the Warriors with a commanding advantage, 20-17. Take a look at the last play again one more time. Is again just a heroic lob across from Chantel Hudgens, but again, it's Lauren Pasca who's been able to have the hot arm so far and really try to penetrate to the back row. Well, don't forget, tomorrow we go on the air. 3 different games for you right here on the Indiana Tech Digital Network. Begins at 1 with a men's soccer tournament. It's the Racers of UNOH come to town to take on IT. That's a 1 p.m. start time, as Aaron Farley will join you for that one. Then 2 p.m., regular season finale right here in the Schaefer Center as the Blue Devils come inside to try to spoil the Senior Day celebrations for IT. We'll go on the air a little before 1:45 p.m. to bring you those Senior Day ceremonies. And then we wrap up the night on the ice in women's hockey as Michigan State comes to town to take on Indiana Tech. That'll be a late start time for that one, 8:30 tomorrow night over at the Ice House. So a lot of great action coming your way right here on the Indiana Tech Digital Network. But nonetheless, Indiana Tech trying to continue to push forward here in set number 2. They lead by 3. And really just these two teams have just continued to go nip and tuck at each other all season. But the Warriors have had the last edge and the last laugh in all 15 of them. Here's Tyke again on the push. This one, third chance, got to get it over. Zeider does that in time. They go again for Tyke, a commanding swing. This one, block tip, Paska can't get it. As Kiefer was able to get the jump up and in motion, make it 20-18, an advantage of IT. Here's another push again, this time from number 17 and Strasma, but it sails wide. And just like that, the Warriors are within 1. The Warriors of Indiana Tech only up by 1 as they take a timeout. We'll take it with them. 20-19, IT trying to close it out. Rochester trying to get even.
Want to know the difference between dreaming and doing? Yeah, pretty much everything. Visit Indiana Tech and see what it's like to be a Warrior. Want to know what it means to be a Warrior? Yeah, pretty much everything. Visit Indiana Tech and walk a mile in a Warrior's shoes.
Rochester Christian doing a great job of continuing to keep the momentum in their direction, but can they continue to keep points on the board? Here's another swing across. This one pivoted off the hands and in time as Lauren Paska finds a way to throw it off the arm of number 3 and Madeline Geisenhaver. And the insurance point back on the board. Make it 21-19. An advantage of the Warriors. Of Indiana Tech, that is. Cassidy Boner now brings it across. This one sent over, tipped down. Another chance lobbed over. This one goes over to Schultz, or Snyder, I beg your pardon. Now another push. Wood, Tyke. That's going to be tipped down. Maybe a free chance. Going to be a light tip instead, brought over from Zeider. Now another swing. Here is Snyder on the push. This one gets up and across, tipped down, and got it. As Strasma couldn't get the hand on it she was looking for. And the lead back to 1, and Rochester trying to even it up. 21-20. It's Rochester trying to force a fourth and confirm at least maybe a fourth, or will be a fourth. Indiana Tech trying to go up 2-0. Snyder off the top. Goes back over to Zeider. Now a high tip in the back from Everett. Now Tyke again. Gets it back row to connect over with Horn. Push again, up forward. They got a chase for it. And a free ball chance upcoming, but a nice save by Snyder. And even more so from number 15 in Asali. Saved by Wood. Rally continuing here. Snyder on the push. Block tipped and out of play. So the great push out of the box. Looked like it was off Olivia Everett on that one. And the lead now extended to 2. 22-20. And the Warriors doing a great job of continuing to bust the door open. Here's Everett again. On the opportunity. Chance up coming for Snyder. Snyder does not graze the box. It sails out of play. So it grazes just out of play and out of the opportunity. Make it now 22-21. And Rochester with an opportunity to try to make it even. Gets this over to Maynard. Maynard up the middle, and not enough. So an all-important ace and 22 apiece here in the second. As Indiana Tech will stop to take a timeout. Well, again, take a look at some of the other scores going on right now. Everybody in league play in motion here tonight. We've already got a final on the board from the Garage in Lima as Lawrence Tech sweeps the Racers. 3-0 the final in that one. So Lawrence Tech going to move up to 11-8 officially in league play. So I'll put them at a game and a half back in 6th place. So again, very much outside looking in, but tiebreakers and whatnot, they will likely have to go to the road for the opening round. Cornerstone on top of UM Dearborn. That one is now officially a final, 25-15, 25-17, and 25-19. The second set just getting underway in Defiance between Siena Heights and Defiance, 26-24, 22-25. Each team with a game apiece in that match. We're also 1-1 over at Madonna. 20-25, 25-18. Aquinas taking a second in that one. Here's a push again now for Snyder. Snyder gets this one up and across. Chance again, brought over, off the tip, finds Wood. Wood again on the run. High swing from Alway, answers the call. As Jacqueline Alway able to get the jump tip and in time. And so just like that, it's what the Warriors absolutely ordered. To make it 23-22. Can they find 2 quick points to get this one out of reach? Into the net it goes. Won't do it. As Matlick gets this one into the net. And we're even at 23. Well, strap in, folks. It's been one of those kind of nights here at the Schaefer Center. And an ace from Ava Ford. So back-to-back aces. And now Rochester Christian with yet another set point opportunity. Can they make the most of this one here? Here's Ford. Up short. Chance again for Snyder. Block tipped again from Schultz. And a reach over going to go against Shantae Huggins. As Hudgens reaches over. And we'll do it again. So back-to-back sets. We're going to go to some extra points here. Here in set number 2. Last one, it was 31-29. Indiana Tech won that one. And they look to continue and do it again here. This one, a low serve coming in from Redder. This one, way off the top. Redder gets the dig and the reception. Here's Pasca. Another block again from Hutchins. Pasca again gets this one up the middle, connecting over to Maynard. Now off the net, kind of pinballs a little bit off multiple Rochester Christian Warriors, but nonetheless, another set point opportunity as it looks like it may have hit off the glasses. It broke the glasses of Shantae Hudgens. Redder up the middle. This one swung up, dug by Redder. Pasca, does she have it? Another chance again. Pasca, tipped. and out of play. Oh, no, they found a tip off Rochester Christian. You have to think they're going to go to the videotape here as they rule it a tip against Rochester Christian. Are they going to replay the point? Nope, they won't. They'll give it to IT. How about that? Well, just like that, we go to the third, and Indiana Tech with a commanding 2-0 lead against Rochester Christian. And the possibility of hosting a home match in the playoffs is certainly continuing to grow. Back in a moment on the Indiana Tech Digital Network.
Want to know the difference between dreaming and doing? Yeah, pretty much everything. Visit Indiana Tech and see what it's like to be a warrior. Want to know what it means to be a warrior? Yeah, pretty much everything. Visit Indiana Tech and walk a mile in a warrior's shoes.
Welcome to the Summit City, home to the 260's dedicated high school athletes and fans. Each victory and celebration captured by our camera. Treasure the highlights from the Summit Athletic Conference this season, or complete games live or on demand. After all, nobody's more proud to call Fort Wayne home than SummitCitySports.com.
From the first day, I felt very welcome at Indiana Tech.
I just really enjoy the classes and the vibe I get from all the other athletes and just the students here. Everybody's cool and everybody gets along really well.
I'm currently a senior, and since my freshman year, student life activities have really grown throughout campus, and there's so many ways that you can meet new people. You can go bowling, you can watch movies, and it's just really important to get involved on campus.
We have intramurals, anything from billiards to basketball. It's made student life very enjoyable.
I love Fort Wayne because there's always something going on, like festivals. I walk a bunch of the trails here locally. There's great restaurants. There's always something fun to do. You can never be bored here in Fort Wayne.
The school spirit at Indiana Tech is epic. It's everything. We had our first annual hockey game not too long ago. Everybody showed up, face paint, cowbells, Trojan hats, lawn gnomes. It was amazing. It makes it so worthwhile to be a warrior. Go Warriors.
You want to know what's possible at Indiana Tech? Visit Indiana Tech and see what it's like to be a warrior.
From the first day, I felt very welcome at Indiana Tech.
I just really enjoy the classes and the vibe I get from all the other athletes and just the students here. Everybody's cool and everybody gets along really well.
I'm currently a senior, and since my freshman year, student life activities have really grown throughout campus, and there's so many ways that you can meet new people. You can go bowling, you can watch movies, and it's just really important to get involved on campus.
We have intramurals, anything from billiards.
We go to the third here at the Schaefer Center, and it's 2-0 advantage of Indiana Tech, and again, a win here would all but certainly assure them of hosting an opening round match, because they would have the tiebreaker over Rochester Christian and the sweep of that 2-0 in terms of games played should Indiana Tech finish the job here. On the opposite side, however, if Rochester Christian comes back and wins this one tonight, as Lawrence Snyder gets the quick kill on that one, then you'd have to go further down the tiebreaker scale to like rule number 3 or 4, I believe, to see how that'll be determined. Of course, still a full slate of league play tomorrow, as Rochester Christian headed over to Lima to take on UNOH, as that one sails up over and out of play. But the other one, but Indiana Tech will welcome the Blue Devils of Lawrence Tech, which did get a win tonight. And that moves them to 11-8. So if Indiana Tech were to drop this one, they would still have the tiebreakers over Lawrence Tech, but would need to win over Lawrence Tech. However, if they're at the 6th spot, not really going to matter here. Of course, both teams behind Madonna in terms of standings. And they're at a close one right now in Grand Rapids. And Rochester Christian now quickly rattling off 3 in a row to make it a 3-1 affair. More stats get you updated here in this one as it stands. Indiana Tech and now Rochester Christian both even on kills with 34 apiece on the board. And service aces has really now been kind of a late story here in this one too. Tech's got 5, Rochester with 4 at the moment. And both teams near dead even in hitting percentage. Tech at .198, Rochester at .194. Now that's shifted. Rochester with .200, Tech at .196. And now Rochester Christian off to their largest scoring run of the game so far, as they're on a 4-0 run. As this one's going to be reached over by Rochester. So the Warriors will shut that one down for just a moment. As Kristen Matlick now ready to bring it across. Chance again upcoming. This one brought over in time from Geisenhaver. Geisenhaver again loops this one over to Schultz. A nice swing again to the up corner. To the upper left corner, I should say. Make it now 4-3, and IT certainly trying to get back into this one. It is in the first intermission over at the Ice House, and Tech leading 1-0 in that one. Lawrence Tech leading in that one, or Indiana Tech, I beg your pardon, leading in that one 1-0. As Rochester Christian gets the quick point on the board. Scott brings it over, connects now down to Wood. Wood again up forward, finds Snyder on the push. This one gets near to the top of Alloway. They go again to Schultz. Schultz, back row, pivoted off the hands of Hess. Goes now over to Hudgens. Alloway into the net, not going to get it. As Rochester Christian answering right back to make it a 3-point affair, 6-3 here in set number 3, and certainly trying to extend this one to a 4th. This one broken up the middle. Here's Snyder now. Brought up from Wood. Chance again for Snyder. Goes to the light tip. Connects it over in time, but what a great push from Hess. Now it's Schultz again on the light tip forward. They're going to have to go to Cognoma, and they do. But is it out? It is. As it just sails out of the box. And just like that, Indiana Tech cuts it down to within 2. Paige Redder now back to serve. Redder gets this one up the middle. Chance again, high tipped, and Cognoma able to answer the call on the lift. And the lead now extended to 3, 7-4. As Cognoma right now with 11 kills, leading the way for Rochester Christian. 11-27 as it stands so far here tonight. Lawrence Snyder 11-34 with 2 errors on the board. There's a block again up front from Shantae Hudgens. As Hudgens able to get the jump up and in time. And she lost the glasses due to a late point in set number 2, so she's not wearing them right now on the floor as it stands. Rochester Christian continuing with their largest lead of the night at 4, looking to maybe extend it. Here's Wood. Now gets it up the middle. Swung on, tipped down, and got it. It's Lauren Pasca able to get the quick point. And the lead now down to 3, 8-5 here in the third. Another push again for Wood. This one broke it up and over. Chance again, tipped down. Wood tries to keep it alive, but at that point, you just got to let that point sail. And so Rochester Christian certainly with the advantage here in set number 3, keeping the foot on the gas right now. And Haley Mancogma has certainly been a leader of that, the 5'11" outside hitter. Schultz gets it down and in time. As the Decatur native getting the quick point back on the board. And a 3-point game. Mackenzie Kiefer, the Freeland, Michigan native, now ready to bring it across. Kiefer gets this one up and over. Set back, but pivoted off the hands of Shantae Hudgens. So just like that, 2 quick points, Tech is looking to try to pull away on here in the third. It's Rochester Christian with a 2-point advantage. Here's Asali to bring it over. This one set down and got it. Emmeline Wood could not connect in time. And the lead now continuing to mount for Rochester Christian. With Ashley Horn, the junior defensive specialist from Oxford, Michigan. Now on the board. This one broken up and over. Chance again, swung on and way out of play. As Pasca sailed it out, way out of the box near the concession stand. And a 4-point lead and advantage of ROC. Chance again for Pasca. Gets them lifted over in time. And another save from Asali. Now another swing tip. This one got it. And this one coming from the hands of Olivia Everett. And Coach Matt Fishman wants to stop and think it over. So 12-7 our score. Rochester Christian trying to force a fourth here in set number 3. So again, Tech leading this one 2-0, but it's been a close 2-0, 31-29, 26-24, but trailing 12-7 to Rochester Christian here in the third. Other scores going on right now. Siena Heights and Defiance, they are in the third in that one, as that one is showing Siena Heights 26, Defiance 24. The Saints winning the first set. The Yellow Jackets took the second, 25-22, but it's Siena Heights on top now late in the third, 19-17 over in Defiance. Meanwhile, Aquinas and Madonna, it is now the Saints of Aquinas now up 2-1. They pull away late in the third, 27-25. So Madonna won the first set 25-20, but Aquinas took care of the second 25-18, and then 27-25 in the third. So again, a loss from Madonna and an Indiana Tech win would certainly all but assure that Tech will be hosting a home game in the playoffs. As Madonna would drop to 12-7, Tech would go up to 13-6. And if a win over Lawrence Tech put them at 14-6, would keep them at third place. And potentially would be a back-to-back situation with Lawrence Tech should things continue to shake out. Here's another push across. This one back into the hands of Zeider. Zeider again gets this one forward. Tyke able to get the swing up and in time. As Hannah Tyke now lighting it up here in set number 3. She's got back-to-back kills. This 12-9 affair here in the third. Joe Northern, Oscar Harrison, delighted to have you with us on a Friday night in November. As the regular season will be finished in less than 24 hours from now, strangely enough. This one goes into the net, and the insurance point for Rochester. Here's Mackenzie Kiefer. Goes over to Wood. They go to Tyke. Tyke off the tip and in. And that is just one thing we've noticed about Hannah Tyke. She's been so good at forcing the deflections, especially on the front line, and thinking that you may have a chance to get it up and over, but instead that is not the case in any stretch of the imagination. And gets it down yet again on another point, to make it 13-11. And so things are looking very good now for Tech. So again, they're trying to continue the winning streak of 16-0 over Rochester Christian, but more importantly, all but assured of home playoff host on Wednesday. And Snyder able to get this one up the middle. Because again, coming into tonight, Madonna, Rochester Christian, and Indiana Tech all in at 12-6. This one gets up the middle, finds Kiefer, up into the net, and Tech has tied it. And so just like that, Indiana Tech has stormed all the way back from being 4 down in the third. And Hannah Tyke continuing the rally. Tyke, a little bouncer forward, gets this over to Everett. This one is inside and in time. So that'll stop the run and keep IT at bay for the moment. But 14-13, Indiana Tech certainly trying to trail, certainly trying to charge back into this one. And they've got a great opportunity to do it here. Here's another swing push. This one tipped over in time, gets over to Snyder. Snyder again on the run. This one broken up by Wood. Chance again once more. Snyder swings it down. Chance again to Cagnola. Cagnola tipped over again from Everett. This ball's still live. They go back to Snyder. Swing tip, is it in? It is! Lauren Snyder able to find the touch. And we're even at 14. In what has certainly felt like a playoff-esque atmosphere here tonight. And again, technically for seeding purposes, it absolutely is. Here we go again. This one brought over. Chance again, tipped down. Wood able to get the dig on that one. This one lifted over by Snyder, even at 14. Block tip from Hess. Schultz gets it on the reset. Now a push from Snyder. Gets it down, back row. Nice dig from Hess. They got to go to Cognoma, and they do. Lifted by Wood. They're going to go Schultz, top of the line. Dug out by Maynard. Now again a tip coming from the hands of Everett. Another free chance. A little collision. Snyder gets it up the middle. Nice dig save in the meantime from Boner. Here's Snyder. Tip, scores! Lauren Snyder shuts down the rally and gets Indiana Tech back on top. On a great rally forward for the Warriors, as they lead by 1 here in the third. Lead the match 2-0. Boner digs it up. Chance again set back for Matlick. Now another swing tip. This one down inside and got it. As Rochester Christian answers right back to make it even at 15. So again, just kind of continues to go back and forth we go here in this one. But it's the Warriors of Indiana Tech that have the edge for the moments now, as this one sails out of play off the hands of Ava Ford. And a 1-point game, needing the insurance point here. As Paige Redder now ready to bring it across. Redder with 3 digs tonight, but it's been kind of a constant force to get her team set up in good positioning here tonight. This one swung over from Cognoma, and she's answering the call yet again. As Haley Magcogma with 13 kills on the night tonight, 13 for 31. She's got 2 errors on the evening, however. This one again broken up, swung over, tipped, and out of play. Lauren Pasca could not get the angle, and Rochester again gets the advantage. So they lead it 17-16 in what has been very much a seesaw effort here tonight. Here's the push across, and now again once more. They go to Schultz. That one's into the net. And Rochester Christian now back with the insurance point and up by 2. And Tech will take the timeout. We'll take it with them. 18-16, Rochester Christian up front, trying to force a fourth here at the Schaefer Center.
Want to know what it means to be a warrior? Yeah, pretty much everything. Visit Indiana Tech and walk a mile in a warrior's shoes.
Good luck, Tammy.
See you, David.
Things happen. How do you make the unexpected happen? Take the next step with an online degree from Indiana Tech. Start with a visit to one of our 2 new Chicago area enrollment centers in Naperville or Wilmette. You'll discover a wide range of affordable undergraduate and graduate degrees with flexible class schedules designed to fit your lifestyle and help you earn a degree sooner than you'd expect. Embrace the unexpected at Indiana Tech.
18-16, Rochester Christian trying to force a fourth here at the Schaefer Center. Indiana Tech trying to go for the sweep and clinch at least a top 4 seed in the WHAC tournament next week. That's what's at stake here tonight. Here's Cognoma, can't get it over, tipped by Alway. As Matt Cogna able to get it back on the board. 18-17. IT trying to get back in it. Here's Wood. Dunk up the middle, connected over to Horn. Horn now races up off the tip, can't get it. And the Warriors of IT have now evened it again at 18. Now another swing, this one inside. Coming from the hands of Shantae Hudgens. So Hudgens able to get it in the back row and in time. And an opportunity to get the all-important insurance point to go up 2. And Cogna. Gets this brought over now again from Matlick. Here's Hudgens able to get the swing down and in. And we play on 20-18 here in set number 3. And they get the all-important insurance point here. Tech out of timeouts. Rochester Christian still has them both. This one goes up the middle. Chance again for Snyder. Snyder lifted up. Now finding Zeider. Now again, block tipped up front from Ty. Can't get it. And a lift again from Hudgens. And it's 21-18 as Rochester Christian now on a 3-0 run. Late here in the third. They're trying to extend this to a fourth. Mancagna is going to be bobbled off IT, specifically number 13, Gabby Rossi. Here's another swing push. Hudgens sails out of play. So the swing goes wide for Hudgens. And just like that, it is a 2-point affair. As Isabella Osele now ready to bring it over. Osele up the middle. They go to Zeider on the tip. You could hear him yell tip from up here. Another swing, gets it over to Schultz. Lifted again, back row, Tyke out of play. And Rochester Christian up 3, just need 3. A play on here in this one. Tech trying to continue to keep it alive. This one sails out of the box. 22-20, and for Rochester Christian, that is service error number 4 for them tonight. Tech has 7 on the board, but they also lead in aces 5-4. 2-point game. Boner gets it across. High lift from Zeider. Now another push. It's Strasma. This one deflected. Dig up low again once more. Now a push from Snyder. Able to get the deflection down and in. As Lawrence Snyder able to get the deflection off Mackenzie Kiefer. And a 1-point game here in the third. Boner. Up the middle and an ace. Cassidy Boner with an all-important ace. Timeout, Rochester. So they've got the one remaining. Tech now surging all the way back, 22-22. Can they find a way to finish off the Warriors of Rochester Christian in 3? Or will Rochester Christian force an all-important fourth? All right, let's get you updated on the other game going on right now, specifically at Madonna, or at Aquinas. It is now Madonna leading in the fourth set, 11-9. Aquinas did win the second, as we mentioned, so that one could potentially maybe go the distance. Of course, still early in that one right now. Meanwhile, in this one, it has been all Tech all night. But they've had to work hard to get there and going the distance and then some. And this one is certainly not going to be any different. Florence Tech, Cornerstone winners over UNOH and UM Dearborn, respectively, 3-0. Defiance up 2-1 over Siena Heights. And they're up in the fourth set. The Yellow Jackets up in the fourth set, 2-0. That one just getting underway. Boner with an opportunity. Gets this one up to the back row. Chance again, tipped over to Everett. Now another lift. This one going to be floated out of the way. Now another high block tip again. Nice save from Snyder. Chance again upcoming once more. Tipped over from Wood. Now still looking to keep it alive. It's pinballing really at the front row more so than anything. Snyder hits it hard, goes all the way to the back and on the board. As Lawrence Snyder has been the closer here tonight in all important rallies. And Tech has now rattled off 4 in a row here in the third. Up the middle from Boner. Now another chance again from Snyder. Block tip again from Tyke. This one broken up. Tyke again, lifted over, sets over to Asali. Tyke, down low again once more. Another swing push. Snyder tipped down, still kept live. Asali on the swing. It's Snyder. Lifted over to Tyke, got it off the tip and in. Hannah Tyke with the answer. And Rochester Christian's going to take the last time out on the match point to make it 24-22. And Indiana Tech has bent, but hasn't broken here tonight. But again, if it's anything like what we've seen in the first 2 sets, this could possibly go even more points. Indiana Tech definitely doesn't want that to happen here tonight. Well, as a reminder, we'll be right here tomorrow for the big one senior day here against Lawrence Tech. We'll go on the air just before 1:45 right here on the Indiana Tech Digital Network. We'll bring you those senior day ceremonies in their entirety here from the Schaefer Center, and we'll also get you caught up on the final day of action and seeing again how the race for 3, 4, and 5 are just going to continue to really juggle around. But Tech, again, even with a loss, even with the win tonight, and if they lose to Lawrence Tech tomorrow, if they still are even tied with Rochester Christian, they'll have the tiebreaker. Here's Boner. Gets it up the middle. Chance again once more for Snyder. Hits it up over again. Snyder, the closer! Lawrence Snyder caps the comeback, and Tech wins on a 6-0 run to close the match. And a lot of it has to be thanks to number 19 tonight in Lawrence Snyder. 16 for 45 tonight, 16 kills. The next closest was Lauren Pasca with 9. So if that doesn't show you what this sophomore from Woodburn is capable of, it is certainly something, that's for sure. And so with the win tonight, Indiana Tech now has the advantage in the 2-0 tiebreaker over Rochester Christian, and is nearly all but certain to be hosting a home game of the WHAC tournament next week. Your player of the game tonight is Lawrence Snyder as they go to the prayer circle in the middle. But again, Lawrence Snyder with an absolute dominant effort tonight. 16 for 45. Second, Lauren Pasca, 9 for 32. So we pause the circle. It is possible that these two teams might connect again with each other in the playoffs. We'll have to wait and see how it goes. Meanwhile, for Rochester Christian, leaders tonight, Haley Mancogma with 13 to 33. And you could see Indiana Tech just continuing to clap and fight for the win as they now improve to 20-11 in this 2025 campaign. We know that there will be one more home game at least here tomorrow. That'll be against Lawrence Tech here at the Schaefer Center. We'll go on the air just before 1:45 p.m., but nearly all but certain that this Indiana Tech team will be hosting a playoff game on Wednesday night, the 12th. And it's possible it could be against Rochester Christian, but again, seeing what could happen over at Aquinas and Madonna. And again, Madonna's got to face off against Cornerstone too, both 1 and 2 at the top of the table. So certainly something to keep an eye on here tonight. For all of us here at Indiana Tech Athletics, for Oscar Harrison, Joe Northern saying so long with the Schaefer Center, where the Warriors win it in 3 straight, but certainly had to work for it here tonight, and rightfully so. So long, everybody.
Welcome to the Summit City, home to the 260's dedicated high school athletes and fans. Each victory and celebration captured by our cameras. Treasure the highlights from the Summit Athletic Conference this season, or complete games live or on demand. After all, nobody's more proud to call Fort Wayne home than SummitCitySports.com.
I decided if I was going to come to Indiana Tech, I was going to be a different kind of instructor. I was really going to focus on connecting with students, teaching the students the theory that they needed, and also the practical applications.
Very practically, what that looks like is smaller class sizes. So my class sizes are